Howdy, y'all. Hope everybody's having a great day. Silver Trade here again with your daily AMC and GameStop update. Today on GameStop in the earnings call wasn't really what we were wanting, wasn't really what we were hoping for. They didn't say anything about Roaring Kitty. They didn't say anything about, Keith Gill. They talked about 5 directors, but they didn't say anything about their future, and they didn't say anything about their plans with their $4.2 billion in cash, and they didn't really even answer a whole lot of questions. The whole meeting took place within 30 minutes. It was over at 11:58 this morning. Kind of insane. I don't even know why they held it if they weren't going to say anything, but please remember, none of this is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. We do this for entertainment purposes only, and please do your own research and due diligence before putting your money into anything. But for a lot of people, it's not really the earnings call that, piques their interest about GameStop. But please remember, none of this is financial advice, and we're going to do something a little bit different in this video. Instead of talking about stocks, we're going to do a little bit of basic math about no particular stock, not talking about anything. We're just doing basic math to see what would happen with, other numbers. Right here, back in 2020, Ryan Cohen bought 9 million shares of GameStop, and that took the price from $4 to $12 over the next month. He did that, and he bought 9 million shares just like Roaring Kitty did recently. But Roaring Kitty didn't buy as much of the float as Ryan Cohen did back in the day. Right here in 2020, Ryan Cohen bought about 3.5% of the company because there was only 258 million shares. Nowadays, there's 426 million shares in the float. And so he purchased 3.5% of the company, and that helped it, triple over the next couple of months. After a while, we did the 4-to-1 split on GameStop, and then now he has 36 million. Last week, Last week, him and Roaring Kitty added to their portfolio, Ryan Cohen and Roaring Kitty. Ryan Cohen added another 4 million shares, so that brings Ryan Cohen to 10% of all of GameStop's float. Roaring Kitty has 2.1% of the float, and best case scenario, he exercised 1% of the float last week. And that's really exciting because that puts us at, within the last month, we've had 3.1% of the float bought from just these two individuals. Along with them, Vanguard, they've been holding 6% of the company, BlackRock 5% of the company, and State Street 2% of the company. Altogether, that equals 25% of the company, or 105 million shares. And 426 million minus 105 is 319 million, obviously. So there's 319 shares outstanding. And I got to wondering, because I saw a post online, I was like, man, if Roaring Kitty got 7.3 million views on, this post from, about a week ago now, if he got 7.3 million views, how many shares would every one of those viewers have to own before there would literally be no more shares to be bought? And I wonder what would happen. Would they just say there's no more shares, or what would happen? But with 7.3 million people seeing his Twitter, and even if we assumed only half of those people were investors, that is still a ton of people. But we know there's 319 million shares outstanding, and Roaring Kitty has gotten 7.3 million views on his billionaire post. So if we wanted to know how many shares every person would need to own, to put us at that $426 million locked float, each person would only need to own about 43 shares, and we would be at 426 million, and then all of the shares would be owned. Even if it was only 3.6 million people, they would still only have to own about 90 shares per person, and that would still get you to 426 million shares. This isn't talking about any stock in particular. This is me just blowing hot air. This is not financial advice, but you can safely assume that people, if they like a company, are going to own more than 90 shares. And you're probably asking yourself, well, if there's that many people watching and so many people own that many shares, why isn't it going up? Well, whenever you buy a stock in like Robinhood or Webull or something like that, they give you the quote-unquote share, and you have the rights to it, like you own it, but they didn't actually give you that physical share. About 90% of all orders in GME and AMC don't even go to the actual market. because they just go to like dark pools and other places, but they don't want that buying pressure to actually hit the market. So they have to blow it off, and then they slowly tamper it in, and then they'll, slowly take care of it. And then every now and then, too many people will try to buy, and then there's a whole lot of shares that they have to come up with. And those are failures to deliver. Failures to deliver come whenever, you know, 3.1% of the company gets bought within a week, and they have to find shares for those people. So that can be pretty bullish. That can be a little exciting. But remember, none of this is financial advice, and this is literally just a rant. I really appreciate y'all having, the patience to sit through and watch it all. God bless you. Thank you so much.